New CEO fired me for being outdated after 15 years building the agency's client base. The email notification blinked on my screen just as I was finishing up the quarterly client report that had consumed the better part of my week. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, suddenly hesitant to press send. It wasn't unusual for me to receive meeting requests from upper management, but something about this particular summons felt different. The subject line, "Urgent discussion required," seemed unusually formal coming from someone who'd only been in their position for 3 months. As I clicked open the message, a familiar knot began forming in my stomach, though I couldn't quite place why. 15 years ago, I'd walked into this agency fresh out of college, armed with nothing more than a marketing degree and an unshakable belief that building genuine relationships was the key to business success. Back then, the agency occupied a modest office space above a coffee shop, and our client list consisted of local businesses trying to find their footing in the digital age. I remember those early days vividly, late nights spent crafting handwritten notes to potential clients, personal visits to understand their unique challenges, and countless hours developing customized strategies that spoke directly to their needs. Through sheer determination and an unwavering commitment to understanding what made each client tick, I'd helped transform our small agency into a respected name in the industry. We weren't just another faceless corporation, we were partners in our clients' success stories. I could still picture the faces of the first major client I brought on board, the thrill of watching their business grow alongside ours, and the deep connections formed through years of collaboration and mutual trust. These relationships weren't built overnight or through slick sales tactics, they were cultivated through consistent, authentic engagement and a genuine desire to see others succeed. As I gathered my notebook and headed toward the conference room, memories of these achievements played like a highlight reel in my mind. The walls of our now expansive office told the story of our growth, framed awards, photographs with satisfied clients, and milestone markers that represented years of hard work. Each step down the hallway seemed heavier than the last, not from physical weight but from the emotional investment I'd poured into this company. The new CEO's office door stood slightly ajar, and I could see her silhouette moving behind the frosted glass. She'd arrived with promises of modernization and efficiency, armed with data analytics and automated systems that promised to revolutionize our approach to client relations. But as I approached that door, I couldn't help wondering if she truly understood what made our agency special, the human element that couldn't be reduced to metrics and algorithms. The door opened before I could knock, and there she was, Rachel Chen, the 32-year-old tech prodigy who'd taken the helm after our previous CEO's retirement. Her perfectly tailored suit and sleek laptop seemed to embody everything modern corporate America valued: youth, technology, and efficiency. Without waiting for me to sit, she launched into what felt like a rehearsed speech, her words tumbling out with clinical precision. "We've conducted a comprehensive analysis of our operational structure," she began, her tone as polished as her presentation slides. "Your methods, while successful in the past, are no longer aligned with contemporary business practices." Her eyes never left her screen as she continued, reciting figures and statistics that purported to demonstrate how my personalized approach was costing the company valuable time and resources. According to her metrics, maintaining individual relationships with clients was inefficient compared to automated systems and standardized processes. She spoke of scalability and optimization, as if these terms held the same weight as the decades-long partnerships I'd nurtured. The worst part wasn't even her words, it was the complete absence of eye contact, the way she treated me as just another data point in her corporate spreadsheet. I tried to interject, to explain how these very relationships had sustained us through market fluctuations and economic downturns, but she raised a hand to silence me. "Look, it's not personal," she said, finally looking up with what might have been intended as sympathy but came across as condescension. "You're simply outdated. We need to move forward with leaders who can embrace our vision of the future." The word outdated hung in the air like a death sentence, its finality crushing the years of dedication and success I'd poured into this company. I wanted to argue, to remind her of the numerous clients who'd followed me from one project to the next, whose loyalty had been built on trust and understanding rather than algorithms and analytics. But the look in her eyes told me it would be futile, she'd already made her decision, and nothing I said would change her mind. As I sat at home that evening, staring at the termination letter on my kitchen table, the magnitude of what had happened began to sink in. 15 years of my life, 15 years of pouring my heart and soul into building something meaningful, dismissed with a single word: outdated. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd always prided myself on staying current, adapting to new technologies while maintaining the human touch that set our agency apart. Yet here I was, being cast aside because my methods didn't fit neatly into some corporate efficiency matrix. The support poured in immediately from former colleagues and clients alike. Sarah Thompson, owner of a boutique marketing firm we'd worked with for over a decade, called within hours of hearing the news. "What they're doing is insane," she declared, her voice trembling with indignation. "You know my business inside and out. You've been there through every major decision. No algorithm could ever replace that kind of understanding." Her words echoed what dozens of others were saying, that the value I brought to the table couldn't be measured by spreadsheets alone. Every testimonial, every offer of support, only deepened the sense of injustice burning within me. They weren't just firing an employee, they were dismantling the very foundation upon which the agency's success had been built. The phone calls and emails kept coming, each one fueling my resolve. Long-time clients expressed shock and disappointment, some even threatening to take their business elsewhere. Younger colleagues who'd learned the ropes under my mentorship reached out, expressing concern about the direction the company was heading. Their voices carried a common theme. In pursuit of modernization, the new leadership was sacrificing the authenticity that had defined our agency's success. What started as anger began transforming into something more powerful, a determination to prove that experience and human connection still mattered in today's business world. Late one night, as I scrolled through messages of support from clients and colleagues, an idea began to take shape. Why should I let someone else define my worth or dictate the future of client relationships? The contacts in my phone weren't just names and numbers, they represented years of trust, understanding, and mutual growth. Instead of letting this setback define me, I realized I could use it as a catalyst for something new, something that honored everything I believed in about building genuine business connections. The first call I made was to Sarah Thompson, whose immediate response was a resounding yes, before I'd even finished explaining my vision. Within days, I had commitments from 3 major clients willing to follow me to whatever venture I decided to create. The support wasn't limited to former clients either. Several talented young professionals from my old agency reached out, eager to join a team that valued personal connections over cold metrics. As I began drafting plans for a new consulting firm, I realized I wasn't just starting a business, I was building a movement that celebrated the power of authentic relationships in professional settings. Each conversation added momentum to my growing conviction. I started sketching out ideas for workshops and training programs that would teach others how to build meaningful business relationships in an increasingly digital world. The thought of creating something that could help both established companies and young professionals navigate the balance between technology and human connection filled me with purpose. This wouldn't be about revenge or proving anyone wrong, it would be about demonstrating that true success comes from understanding people, not just analyzing data. The basement office of my small suburban home became command central as I transformed my initial spark of an idea into concrete plans. A whiteboard covered one wall, gradually filling with color-coded sections detailing services, target markets, and operational structures. Each morning, I woke up energized by the possibilities ahead, diving into research about similar firms while simultaneously reaching out to potential collaborators. The living room couch became my makeshift conference area where I met with interested parties, former clients turned potential partners, young marketing professionals seeking mentorship, and even a few sympathetic colleagues from my previous agency who shared insider knowledge about the challenges facing traditional relationship-based models. My network proved invaluable during these early stages. Through 20 years of cultivating genuine connections, I'd unwittingly built exactly the support system needed to launch a new venture. Veteran business owners offered advice based on their own entrepreneurial journeys, while younger professionals contributed fresh perspectives on how to blend traditional relationship building with modern technology. We held brainstorming sessions that lasted late into the night, fueled by pizza deliveries and shared excitement about creating something revolutionary yet deeply human. The framework for my new consulting firm began taking shape organically, evolving from simple sketches into detailed plans. Rather than positioning ourselves as direct competition to my former agency, we focused on becoming specialists in relationship optimization, helping businesses maintain authentic connections while embracing necessary technological advancements. Our unique selling proposition emerged naturally from my own experience, teaching organizations how to integrate personal touchpoints into their digital strategies without sacrificing efficiency. It wasn't about rejecting progress, it was about ensuring that progress served human needs rather than replacing them. Every aspect of the planning process reinforced my belief in the importance of balancing technology with humanity. From designing client intake forms that captured both quantitative data and qualitative insights, to developing communication protocols that prioritized personal interaction alongside digital efficiency, we created systems that honored both aspects of modern business. The challenge lay in articulating this balance to potential investors and partners who might initially dismiss relationship-focused strategies as outdated, ironically echoing the very criticism that had sparked this entire journey. As our launch date approached, anticipation built throughout our growing network of supporters. Former clients volunteered to serve as case studies, sharing how personalized attention had driven their business success. Young professionals crafted social media campaigns highlighting the importance of mentorship and human connection in career development. Even some of my former colleagues secretly fed us information about how the push for complete automation was backfiring at the agency, with clients expressing dissatisfaction and long-term relationships beginning to fray. Each piece of feedback, each offer of support, strengthened our resolve to prove that success in business wasn't about choosing between tradition and innovation, it was about finding the perfect harmony between the two. The day of our official launch arrived with a mixture of excitement and nervous energy that crackled through every corner of our temporary office space. We'd secured a co-working location downtown, transforming a portion of the shared space into our headquarters with little more than determination and strategic placement of plants and artwork. The morning began with a flurry of activity as our small team put final touches on presentations, double-checked technology setups, and prepared welcome packets for our first wave of visitors. Through the large windows overlooking the city, I watched as familiar faces began arriving, former clients, industry colleagues, and curious observers who'd heard whispers of our unconventional approach. Our opening remarks set the tone for everything we hoped to achieve. Standing before a diverse audience of business owners, marketing professionals, and young entrepreneurs, I shared not just our mission statement but the philosophy that drove it: technology should enhance human connection, not replace it. The room fell silent as I recounted stories of successful client relationships built on understanding and trust, illustrating how these connections had weathered challenges that no algorithm could predict or navigate. When I mentioned specific examples of how personalized attention had saved accounts during crises, several attendees nodded in recognition, their own experiences validating our approach. The interactive workshop sessions that followed demonstrated our commitment to walking the talk. Participants rotated through stations where they experienced firsthand how combining digital tools with personal interaction could create more meaningful business relationships. At one station, we showcased how CRM software could be used not just for data tracking but for remembering personal details about clients, favorite coffee orders, important family milestones, shared interests. Another station featured role-playing exercises that highlighted the value of active listening combined with data-driven insights. The energy in the room grew palpable as attendees engaged with these concepts, many expressing surprise at how effectively technology could support rather than supplant human connection. By lunchtime, our phones were buzzing with inquiries and meeting requests. Several local business owners approached me personally, sharing how they'd struggled with maintaining personal connections while adopting new technologies. One particularly poignant conversation stood out. A longtime client who'd recently lost significant market share explained how their attempts to modernize had alienated loyal customers. "We thought we were keeping up with the times," he admitted, "but we forgot what made our business special in the first place." His words resonated throughout the afternoon sessions, inspiring deeper discussions about finding balance in an increasingly digital marketplace. As the day progressed, something remarkable happened. Our launch event evolved from a showcase of services into a community gathering of like-minded professionals committed to preserving the human element in business. Attendees began networking among themselves, exchanging stories of how personal connections had impacted their careers and businesses. Some formed impromptu discussion groups, while others took notes furiously as speakers shared practical strategies for integrating personal touchpoints into digital workflows. The atmosphere transformed into one of collective purpose, with participants recognizing that they weren't alone in valuing relationships alongside results. By evening, our small team was exhausted but exhilarated. The feedback sheets collected throughout the day painted a clear picture. We tapped into a widespread desire for a more balanced approach to business relationships. Many attendees praised our emphasis on mentorship, noting how rare it had become to find organizations genuinely invested in nurturing both professional skills and personal connections. Others highlighted the practical nature of our solutions, appreciating how we demonstrated concrete ways to implement our philosophy without abandoning technological advancements. Perhaps most gratifying were the comments from younger professionals who expressed relief at finding a model that valued interpersonal skills alongside technical expertise. As I locked up the office that night, the city lights reflecting off the windows, I realized we'd achieved something beyond a successful launch. We'd created a space where people could openly discuss the challenges of maintaining authenticity in modern business environments. The conversations had revealed a hunger for guidance on navigating this complex landscape, not just from established business owners, but from emerging professionals seeking mentorship in building meaningful careers. Every handshake, every exchanged business card, every promise to stay in touch represented a vote of confidence in our mission and a testament to the enduring power of human connection in professional settings. The weeks following our launch unfolded like chapters in an unexpected adventure, each day bringing new opportunities and challenges that tested our resolve and refined our approach. Our initial success attracted attention from unexpected quarters. Local business journalists wrote features about our unconventional model, while industry veterans reached out seeking advice on implementing similar strategies in their own organizations. The media coverage brought a flood of inquiries, forcing us to quickly develop systems for managing interest while maintaining the personal touch that defined our brand. One of the most surprising developments came from within the industry itself. Several former colleagues from my old agency contacted us, discreetly sharing how the push for complete automation was causing client relationships to deteriorate faster than anticipated. They described situations where major accounts were reconsidering their contracts, citing a lack of personal connection and understanding. This insider information presented both an opportunity and a dilemma: how to ethically respond to these revelations while respecting professional boundaries. We chose to focus on providing exceptional service to any clients who approached us, letting our work speak for itself rather than engaging in direct competition. The real test came when a major retail chain, previously one of my old agency's flagship clients, requested a consultation. Their marketing director, a former protégé of mine, explained how their customer retention rates had plummeted since implementing the new efficient communication protocols. During our initial meeting, she confessed that their attempts to automate customer interactions had resulted in a 30% drop in repeat business. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The very metrics their new leadership valued most were suffering precisely because of their rejection of personal connection. Working with them required careful navigation, as we had to address their challenges without violating any non-compete agreements or appearing opportunistic. Our success with smaller clients proved equally challenging in unexpected ways. Many young entrepreneurs approached us, eager to adopt our methods but struggling to reconcile them with the fast-paced demands of startup culture. We found ourselves developing entirely new frameworks for integrating personal connection into rapid growth scenarios, creating hybrid approaches that maintained authenticity while accommodating scaling needs. These experiences forced us to continually evolve our methodology, proving that our approach wasn't just viable for established businesses but could be adapted to various stages of growth and industry sectors. Perhaps the most rewarding aspect emerged from our mentorship program. Young professionals who'd grown up in the digital age found themselves struggling to develop the interpersonal skills necessary for meaningful business relationships. Through our workshops and one-on-one coaching sessions, we watched as they transformed from hesitant networkers into confident communicators who understood the value of genuine connection. Their progress served as a constant reminder of why we'd embarked on this journey, to preserve and promote the human element in professional environments. As our reputation grew, so did the complexity of our operations. We implemented a tiered consulting system that allowed us to serve clients of all sizes while maintaining our core values. Technology became our ally rather than our adversary, as we developed proprietary tools that enhanced rather than replaced personal interaction. Our CRM system, for instance, included fields for personal notes and relationship milestones alongside standard data points, creating a comprehensive view of each client relationship that blended quantitative and qualitative insights. The journey wasn't without its setbacks. Some potential clients remained skeptical, unable to see beyond conventional wisdom that equated efficiency with impersonal systems. Others attempted to adopt our methods piecemeal, only to find that partial implementation failed to deliver the desired results. These experiences taught us the importance of committing fully to our philosophy rather than treating it as a superficial addition to existing practices. We learned to be patient with clients' learning curves and to celebrate incremental progress rather than expecting immediate transformation. Throughout these developments, our team grew stronger and more cohesive. The diverse backgrounds and experiences each member brought to the table enriched our approach, allowing us to develop increasingly sophisticated solutions to complex business challenges. Regular debriefing sessions became sacred spaces where we could share successes and setbacks, refine our methods, and support each other through the inevitable challenges of disrupting established norms. These meetings often lasted late into the evening, fueled by shared passion rather than caffeine, as we debated the best ways to help clients navigate the delicate balance between technological advancement and human connection. The ripple effects of our work began manifesting in ways we hadn't anticipated. Business schools started requesting guest lectures, while industry conferences invited us to present our findings. We found ourselves at the forefront of a quiet revolution in professional practices, advocating for a return to relationship-focused strategies enhanced rather than diminished by technology. The movement gained momentum as more organizations recognized the limitations of purely automated approaches and sought guidance on implementing more balanced systems. Our original mission, to demonstrate the enduring value of authentic connection in business, had evolved into something larger than we'd imagined possible, creating waves of change throughout the professional landscape. As autumn leaves began painting the city streets in vibrant hues, our consulting firm settled into a rhythm that felt both exhilarating and sustainable. The initial rush of attention had given way to steady growth, with new clients joining our roster each week while existing relationships deepened through consistent value delivery. Our calendar filled with appointments, workshops, and speaking engagements, each one representing an opportunity to share our philosophy and help others navigate the complex intersection of technology and human connection. The team worked seamlessly, their diverse strengths complementing each other in ways that continually surprised and impressed me. The impact of our work extended far beyond mere business metrics. We watched as clients transformed their organizational cultures, implementing systems that valued both efficiency and empathy. Marketing departments learned to craft campaigns that spoke to hearts as well as minds, while sales teams discovered how personal connections could drive loyalty in ways no algorithm could replicate. Most gratifying were the stories of young professionals who'd embraced our mentorship program and gone on to implement similar practices in their own careers, creating a ripple effect of positive change throughout the industry. Yet amid this success, questions lingered about the future of professional relationships in an increasingly digital world. How could we ensure that our approach remained relevant as technology continued its relentless march forward? What new challenges would emerge as artificial intelligence and machine learning became more integrated into daily business operations? These uncertainties didn't diminish our resolve, rather, they fueled our determination to stay ahead of the curve, constantly adapting and refining our methods to meet evolving needs. The business landscape continued shifting beneath our feet, presenting both opportunities and obstacles that demanded creative solutions. Major corporations reached out, seeking guidance on humanizing their global operations without sacrificing scale. Startups asked for help maintaining personal connections while pursuing rapid growth. Industry associations invited us to participate in discussions about ethical technology implementation and workforce development. Each new challenge pushed us to expand our thinking and deepen our understanding of how to balance progress with humanity. As winter approached, bringing with it the promise of holiday gatherings and year-end reflections, our firm stood at a crossroads. The foundation we'd built felt solid, but the path forward remained uncertain. Would we continue expanding our services, potentially risking the personal touch that defined us? Or should we focus on deepening our impact within our current scope, refining our methods and mentoring others to carry the torch? These questions weighed heavily on my mind as I watched our team members collaborate on projects that would have seemed impossible just months before. The industry itself seemed caught between competing forces, the relentless push for efficiency and the growing recognition of relationship capital's value. More companies began experimenting with hybrid models, attempting to integrate personal connection into their digital strategies. Some succeeded brilliantly, others stumbled, reinforcing the complexity of our mission. Through it all, our firm remained a beacon of possibility, demonstrating that success didn't require choosing between humanity and technology, that true innovation lay in finding harmony between the two. Looking ahead, I couldn't help but wonder about the broader implications of our work. Were we merely addressing symptoms of a larger issue, or were we contributing to fundamental change in how businesses approached relationships? How could we scale our impact without compromising our core values? These questions swirled in my mind as I prepared for upcoming meetings with potential partners and collaborators, each one representing a chance to influence the future of professional relationships on a larger stage. As spring arrived, our firm received an unexpected invitation from Rachel Chen herself. She admitted her approach had backfired, client retention at the agency had plummeted, and key accounts were leaving. Her voice trembled as she asked for guidance, not just for her company but for herself. We met over coffee, and I saw a different side of Rachel, humble, eager to learn, and willing to change. Together, we crafted a plan to reintegrate personal connection into her agency's operations while embracing technology responsibly. It wasn't easy, but Rachel became one of our most dedicated partners, transforming her leadership style. Word of this reconciliation spread, inspiring others in the industry to adopt similar hybrid models. Our firm grew exponentially, not just as consultants but as advocates for balanced business practices. Young professionals flocked to us, hungry for mentorship that valued empathy alongside ambition. One evening, standing on a stage at a global business summit, I looked out at the audience, a mix of seasoned executives, bright-eyed entrepreneurs, and former colleagues, and felt overwhelming pride. The movement we'd started had become a revolution, proving that humanity and innovation could coexist. When I returned home that night, my phone buzzed with messages from clients, friends, and mentor sharing their successes. Among them was a note from Sarah Thompson: "You didn't just rebuild your career, you reminded us all what truly matters." Tears filled my eyes as I realized the journey had come full circle. Months later, we celebrated the firm's 5th anniversary in a space that once seemed unimaginable, a vibrant office buzzing with collaboration and purpose. Rachel joined us, raising a toast to lessons learned and bridges rebuilt. "Here's to proving that no one is ever truly outdated," she said, smiling at me. That night, surrounded by people who believed in the power of connection, I finally felt at peace. My story hadn't ended with rejection, it had transformed into something far greater, a legacy of resilience, authenticity, and hope. And as the room erupted in applause, I knew this was only the beginning.